Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and today I'm gonna play Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Now the game is, I think, available in retail or so for a year now, but because I backed it on Kickstarter and I had to do the one-wave shipment to save some money. I think I could save $50 or something like that. I had to wait a year longer, and now a couple of days ago it arrived here. And I don't know, I mean, I'm happy that it arrived and all, but more and more I'm at the point where I get a feeling that I'm not gonna back these massive projects anymore, I mean, if you back, for example, an 18xx game, you pay you $70, and then after a couple of months you're gonna have it, and that's it, right? And you can be sure about that, and you can play it, and you're good. But if you play these if you back these massive projects with tons of stretch goals and expansions and all kind of crap, and then you have to choose if you want to do a one-wave shipping or two-wave shipping, and it's going to be super expensive, I don't know, $300 or more. Yeah, more and more this turns me off quite a bit. But anyway, I mean, that's not what this is about here. This is a campaign game, so I want to try to do this campaign. I'm not going to do it in one series. There is the option to save the game, and yeah, the idea is to do a couple of videos and then save the game, do something else, come back to this, and so on. But this is only going to happen if I like it. The thing is, I don't know if I like it, because I not actually played it yet. If I want to do a playthrough now, I want to give you the impression of me exploring the game, because this is essentially what this whole experience is about, right? If you play this campaign, you're gonna start really at zero, and we'll see how it works out. I don't know anything about it. I've played the introductory scenario once, which gives you an overview over the rules, but it doesn't give you any decisions or anything. It's totally scripted, and even the battles, that you got a pre-constructed deck which you're not gonna shuffle. So even the battle or the combat example is totally scripted. There is nothing for you to decide or anything. So it's just a big example of the rules, which works pretty well, by the way. And now we're gonna start this. This island was never meant for humans. Looming on the border between our reality and the ancient power known as the Weirdness, it was populated by a mysterious, legendary race. Humans came here anyway with their wooden ships, their ambitious king, and his fellowship of knights. Running from a plague ravaging their distant homeland, they took the island piece by piece, raising menhirs of foreboding shape and mysterious purpose. The former masters of the island faded into legend. 400 years later, not even their name remains. The people of Avalon call them the Foredwellers. Times are harsh. The Red Death is back. The menhirs are dying, and without their power, the land itself crumbles back into the weirdness. That's why your hometown has gathered 5 of its strongest and wisest heroes and sent them to find help in distant Camelot. As these champions set out to brave the dangers of this wild land, you watch from afar. You are not one of them. Okay, so this is the introduction. And we are playing as a character called Ailey. She is a healer. And well, this is her character board. You can see there is a lot going on here. I have a little bit of problems with all the glare here. So she's got some stats first here. This here is energy. And as you can see, we use these markers here to mark it. Then we have health right here. And here we have terror. The health is right here, and you can see this has a special shape, this thing here. And if this goes down, the energy can never be above this point here. So if it's, let's say this is here, the energy cannot be above 5 in this case. And then we have here the terror, and if the terror is above the health, then that also gives her some problems. She would, for example, panic during a fight. Okay, so in general, this game has a reputation. There were some real critics about that, to be very, very harsh and to be really brutal. So my idea was basically to play this in a so-called story mode, which makes it much easier and much more enjoyable. However, I've also heard that the less characters are playing, the easier it is. Therefore, I decided I don't want to start with the story mode. I want to play it according to the standard rules. And basically, the story mode in a solo game means that you would remove this thing and would simply take a normal marker, so your health wouldn't in any way have any influence on this on the energy, or would not interact with your terror status or something. But I want to try it like this. If I don't enjoy it, if I get a feeling it's too hard, I might either restart in story mode, or I just simply switch to story mode and use a standard marker here. Okay, then our character has some skills here on the side, and you can also see that we have these cubes here to mark it, and it's really hard to read in the light here. So this is aggression, and there are no cubes at all here in the starting setup. And by the way, you can remove this, which is pretty nice, and you can see then how to start. And oh yeah, let's read this too. An outcast whose entire family perished in the weirdness. She makes a modest living, supplying healing herbs and roots to the locals. Okay, and so her aggression is non-existent, basically. She has some courage, and this is practicality, and it's also at 1. She has a pretty high empathy, 2, caution, 1, and down here, this is, what is it? Spirituality, and there is nothing in there. In addition, she's got some resources down here. So she starts with 3 food, this is this. This would be wealth, there's nothing in there. 1 reputation. This is experience, of course no experience here. And this would be magic. And there's also nothing in here. And this whole thing looks really beautiful. It's hard, you can't really see that because of all this glow. Maybe now you see there are these symbols in there, and you know, and it's very thick, and the whole this is a very good components. Also the cards, they are thick, and the components of this game are really amazing. So let's see, she has also some special abilities. She can use healing herbs. So if she pays energy, and the energy are basically some kind of action points here. If she pays energy, she can restore 1 health, and she can do this to herself or another character, but that is of course not the case. But she can only do this out of settlements. And but she also has a disadvantage. She's traumatized. You can't reduce terror when resting in a location without an active manier. Okay, there we are. She's got a personal deck or two decks of cards. She's got a combat deck right here. And she's got a diplomacy deck right here. And these skills are important for combat, and these skills are important for diplomacy. So what else do we have? We have 2 advancement pools for combat, for diplomacy. And this is also specifically for her. There are much more cards in the game. And it works a little bit like in Mage Knight. You basically can spend experience to get cards out of these advancement pool into your combat deck, and you are also allowed to remove cards from your combat deck. So you keep those cards. You don't have to discard them or remove them from the game, but as long as your combat deck counts 15 cards, you're fine. So in the end, what's probably going to happen is that you're going to have more and more of these advanced cards, and you can remove the weaker cards from the combat deck. These are items, and I have no idea what awaits me there. These are secrets. Same here, I don't know. The secrets have numbers. They have numbers, and yeah, I mean, this is not sorted in any way. So I guess you are told to check out a specific secrets, and then you simply find the secret. Here we have the Exploration Journal. It's a huge book, and it has a small introduction which I have read. So basically all the locations have a specific part here in the journal, and then there are also some secrets that you will explore from here. We have event cards. We have random events, these, and we have specific chapter events. And I still gotta find out from which deck I draw at which time. I'm not so sure about that yet, but I'm pretty sure I can find that out. These are help cards. They're very good. From what I understand, they seem to pretty much contain more or less all the rules we have here. These are all the icons that you're gonna have in combat and diplomacy, enemy taints, and this is here the character advancement, the rules for character advancement. This is again rules for diplomacy and combat, and this is the order of the day, or it's basically the sequence of play. And here on the back you got your possible actions. So this is very good. and you got 3 of these cards for every player. So I could basically use 6 of them, right, back and forth, but I don't want to do that. It takes a lot of space in the end. Over here we have cards that instruct you how to set up your chapter. So this is here, chapter 1 setup, and you first read this and then you flip it and you read that. So that's what I did. Here we have additional skills that you can gain. I'm not totally sure if I should actually shuffle these things or not. I'm gonna check it if we come to that. I really don't know, or if they are, I mean, there are the numbers here, so probably I have to follow the numbers. I really don't know that. We'll find out about that at some point. These are cards that come into play if you are going insane or if you're dying, and they will introduce some specific rules then. These are the encounter cards, and you can see there are 4 types of encounter cards: green, white, purple and blue. These 3 type of cards, I'm pretty sure they will all lead to a combat. This one will lead to a diplomacy confrontation. And the setup card has told me to remove all the encounter cards that show more than 1 banner. If you take a look here, you can see here at the top there is 1 banner everywhere, and we're only going to use these cards. There are a lot more of them still in the box. These will be the harder ones, I guess. Here we have more markers, and you might know them from Nemesis. Same type of markers. These are some coins. These are metal coins, and I ordered them as an add-on. Your standard coins are plastic, but I had to say I already spent a lot of money for this. I basically did an all-in pledge, and so I thought, okay man, just if I do this, I do it right, and then I'm gonna spend the, I don't know, $8 for the metal coins. And okay, you can see there is a skull here in the middle, and there are also numbers here, and you're gonna use these things, well, basically as a timer, at least often, and there are also some other things you're gonna use them for. This is a location deck. It's double-sided, and this is basically what your game board is made of. So we don't have a board, we just play here on the location cards, and I'll go into the cards in more detail in a minute. We have a rule book. This is a map of the island, and we are right here, this Quanacht. You can see here, this is the Quanacht farmhold. And eventually we have a letter that was sent to us, and I'm going to read that right now. I don't know when it was sent to us. It seems to me like we have this, I don't know, probably for decades. I don't know. We'll find out. My dearest apprentice, how I regret what little time we had for your education. I was forced to leave town before I could pass on even a fraction of the knowledge you deserve, though the fact you'd rather spend time in the meadows than in the temple certainly did not help. Know this: the sagas of the old are true. Our island once belonged to twisted, immortal powers. Avalon was not created for humans, but Arthur, the first of the kings, who landed on these shores with our people, subdued this realm inch by inch. He took the Grail from the Four-Dwellers and used it to bring seasons and cycles known from our world to this godless place. We all thought the man here in our village was raised to immortalize this. The truth is, it was created to keep these ancient powers out, anchoring the island to the world of mankind. Now the menhirs go dark, and we will soon follow them into oblivion. Thus, Lord Ivain secretly gathered the 5 strongest and wisest champions, including me. He leads us east to seek help in Camelot before it's too late, before the land fragments and sinks into the weirdness. If we do not return, or send word in 30 days, it means we have failed, and the fate of Quanacht falls to you. Ivain thought you too unstable to go with us, and my runes foretold you would not return alive if you did. But alone, you might stand a chance. Save our people, or if you cannot, try to save yourself. And always remember, to me, you were the daughter I could never have. Stay safe. Niant, priestess of Quanacht. Okay, so yeah, that's what we have, and so yeah, now I realize this letter was written too long ago, and yeah, you see, I haven't read anything. This is all I do now. I do for the first time. I have no more information than you do, probably less than some of you. So let's take a closer look. That's me. And I have this weird, I don't even know what it's supposed to be, this weird stick cradle, I don't know. Okay, then we have here the Quanacht. We are at the Quanacht farmhold. And it says, its history as vast as its graveyard, its future as empty as its houses. So we can do an action there. Chorus for the townfolk, gain 1 reputation. There are 3 symbols here. This one, the green one, says there is a friend. This is a friendly settlement. This one says that a menhir can be placed here, and actually is. And this one, I gotta check. I think this is about the dreams. Let me see. Let me find out what that is. Yeah, that is the dream symbol. So I think if you spend the night here, you're gonna have some prophetic dreams. Okay, in addition to that, we have here our spectacular miniature, the menhir. How reasonable it is to have such a massive miniature here, I don't know. It's a little tricky. I don't really want to spend them right in the middle because I kind of want to read what's going on here. And I like the artwork of the cards. If I place it a little bit like this, it also holds the other cards together, right? So that's actually not so bad. And you can see here there is now this dial here, there, you know, the timer, and it shows an 8. So this is the maximum possible at the moment. And oh gosh, okay, there we are. So let's see what is around us here. We have here in the north Hunter's Grove. So we can gather food there. And it says In ages past, only the druids were allowed into the grove, for good reason. That is now forgotten. We have... Oh yeah, and this also... There we also have dreams if we spend the night there. Here we have the chariot conclave. The wind that caresses the long grass of this desolate highland also carries the smell of burnt flesh. And if we enter this, we have to draw a grey encounter immediately. And we also want to have dreams there. Okay, here we have the forlorn swords. So there is the smith's shop, so we can pay there to draw a craftable item. And it says, sensing their own end, 4 dwellers ordered giants to push humans into the sea, but the giants abandoned their weapons here. Okay. And the last card over here is the Warrior's Fair. And it says we can spend a lot of energy to do a combat trial. We're going to lose 1 health, but we will gain 1 experience. We can do that only once per day. With everything that has happened on the island, skilled warriors have become a currency of their own. Nice. Okay. Actually, introducing the components, I forgot we also have a 6-sided die. And we have that special die here, which determines the movement of the guardians. The guardians are some specific monsters that we can encounter. And there is an expansion which only comes, this one here, which only comes with miniatures. There are no rules or anything in there. And it's simply Monsters of Avalon. And there's a bunch of miniatures in there. As you can see here, I don't know, we got about 18 or something, I guess. Seems like there are 18 miniatures in there. Fine. So, yeah, let's start. Now I'm sitting here and, well, I guess day 1 starts. Okay, there we go, start of the day. Remove the expired menhirs and discard locations that are out of the menhir range. Okay, so if now there should be no dial in this sky, then we're going to, or in a menhir, then we would remove that menhir. But we would never remove the last menhir of on the board. Right, so this guy would never be removed as long as he is the only one. And the menhir's range would be all cards in range of 1, but also diagonally. These cards would be removed at that point then. Reduce all time and menhir dials and remove the time tokens. Okay, so this goes now to, oh gosh, yeah, great. Right, I mean, this goes now here. And is that what it does? Does it show a 7? It should. I'm not sure if it does, but I think it does. At least the other one is a 6. Yeah, okay. Great. Reveal the next event card. Okay, and there we already... I gotta check that. So actually we have to draw from the scripted event and not from the random events. And I think pretty much everything is in the rules. The rules seem to be pretty good. And actually the game is not by far not as complicated as I was afraid it would be. However, sometimes things are a little bit hidden, and that's sometimes it's not as easy to you know, you got to be very sometimes you got to be careful not to overlook things, and like this one, for example, it's clearly written from which deck you got to draw, but yeah, it's okay. Anyway, so let's see. We're gonna flip this and see what happens. So place this card on top of the active pile, quest pile. The time is short. The guardian menhir that has been protecting your town since the ancient days is about to go dark. Rumor has it that there's a secret druidic ritual that may help you rekindle the menhirs. You must explore the locations surrounding Quanacht to find it. So we got a quest. Earn a Menhir Rites secret card. To do so, you will have to explore the locations surrounding Quanacht. Oh yeah, Quanacht is 101. Okay, I think we're not going to read the success right now. Hint, if this is your first game, try to return to Quanacht at the end of this day and spend a night there to read the dream, as dreams often contain hints. Okay, cool. Ancient knowledge. So we're going to place it here. And somewhere here in the setup, it also says that as a hint, you're supposed, as a first action of the game, should be exploring the city or the farmhold itself. Okay, now we have to move the guardians, which is not going to happen, and pick active item and secret cards. Okay, so if I should have more items of the same type, armor or weapons or whatever, then I gotta pick which one I want to use during this day at that point. Okay, so now we start the day itself, or we do the during its day thing, which means basically we can do actions. If we would be more players, then every player would do one action after another. You know, I mean, first player 1, then player 2, and then it goes back to player 1 who takes the second action, and player 2, and so on. And but I think the players could actually decide in which order they want to do it. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna use, for me that's easy because, yeah, I can simply do actions as long as I am willing to no longer do so. If I can simply pass at some point, or if I don't have any more energy left, I'm also not allowed to do any more actions. But it's usually not a good idea to get exhausted. You might want to try to avoid this, getting in these 2 red areas, because that makes it harder for you to restore your energy at the end of the day. Okay, so first I want to explore the location. So I'm going to use the first action here. You can see it costs me 1 energy to do so. We're going to move this down. Okay, flip the location card, read the text on the other side, and resolve any rules. This card will often refer to the exploration journal of the location to make further choices. Fine. So, let's see. I'm going to remove this, we're going to remove that, and we're going to flip this. Okay, that looks very different. Fine. A deep feeling of loss fills everything in Quanacht. From dilapidated farms to the sunken eyes of those who remain in town. The menhir in the market is all but extinguished, and everyone brave or resourceful enough has left to find a solution. If you have the Winds of Weirdness status, well, I don't think we have that. If you have the secret card, well, we don't have that. if you have the hunt, well, we don't have that. So now we go to the exploration exploration journal, and this is number 101. Okay, so there we go, number 101. And yeah, that's a pretty good idea. It has on the other side, it has basically the same, it shows basically the backside of the card, so you don't have to flip the card if there are a lot of miniatures or whatever. So that could be helpful. So I think I'm simply going to start here now at 1, if I'm not mistaken. Does it say anything special? It says not first 4, it doesn't say first 6. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to start at first 1. This long winter, nearly everyone here lost a friend or a family member. First to hunger, then to disease. Finally, the 5 remaining pillars of the community, the only heroes this land had ever known, suddenly left. Now, when you look into the distant eyes of the last remaining residents, you realize they want to forget. Okay. Loosen their tongues with meat. There is an old custom. A late night wake for those who wandered far from their home. Holding it for everyone who left with the expedition won't be cheap, though. Pay 1 wealth or 1 food and go to verse 2. I can choose now. I see, I can choose. I could say ask them to share their burdens, which requires this. Now, do I have that? I might. Yeah, I do. Empathy. So maybe I can try to do this, or I could simply leave. What? Go back to the start of this location and make another choice? Okay, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go to verse 2. Well, on the other hand, it's kind of interesting. Both brings me to verse 2, right? But maybe to go to verse, maybe this is only, yeah. Maybe this is what you want to do if you cannot, if you don't have the empathy. So I think I'm going to save the food for now. And this is hard to handle with both, you know, oh my goodness. Let's see if we can do it better this way. Okay, it takes a while to break the silence of the grief-stricken people, but when you do, stories of separations and departures flood you like torrential rain. You try to remember every detail. The color of a palfrey horse the village priestess Neonte rode. The ornament, that's my teacher. The ornament of the hauberk that young Lord Yvain wore. The strange drinking horn Erfir, the smith, used to look around. The birthmark of File, the master huntsman. The embroidered cape of Obert, the seasoned traveler who'd seen all parts of the island. Who knows what detail can help you down the road. Gain part 1 of the fate of the expedition status. Exploration ends. Okay, so we're supposed to close this now. And, well, okay, what does that mean? The fate of the exploration status. Well, that's not it. So look what I found. Sheet of statuses. We have here the safe sheet, the Fall of Avalon, the safe sheet, and here on the back side we have all kinds of statuses, and we see here the fate of the expedition. I marked it 1. I marked the 1 here. When you have parts 1 to 8 of the status, go to Book of Secrets. I guess that's what it means, verse 4 or 5. Okay, neat. Yep, there we are. So we've read this thing now. What does that say? Activate a menu. I'm not sure if we are allowed to read this, to be honest. I didn't read it yet. I think I don't know. Damn it. I gotta check that. So to be honest, I'm not totally sure if I would actually be allowed to read this during the explore action, because I think technically it's the inspect the menu action. But because this action is free, it's this one here, inspect the menu. So if you do this, you can simply flip this thing and only read the text below. So yeah, I'm gonna do that now. So activate a menu. Requires all characters. The menu writes secret card and the Stone's Keeper's Tools secret card. Yeah, that's not true. The Stone Shaper's Tools secret card. Fine. Okay, so we're gonna need these 2 secret cards, and then we're gonna spend 2 energy and 2 health, 2 wealth, and 2 magic per player. Holy crap. Put a new menhir model on this location and set its dial to 8 minus 1 per player. So that means it would actually start at 7, right? I guess so. But looks. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen here. Okay, so we got to find these secrets. We got to find 2 magic. That's important. Okay. So we're going to follow the hint and simply explore the cards in the area around. It seems to me that wait a minute. Where do we have... Where was our first event? Right, it was that one here. At the end of this day and spend a night there to read the dream. Okay. Surrounding. We have to explore the locations surrounding Quanach. So I'm not totally sure if that means only the locations that are adjacent in a way that you can travel there, because you cannot travel diagonally, right? So does it make sense to, let's say, go here and then also go here? I don't know. I don't think so at the moment, but maybe we're gonna find out. That's tricky. It might be important, because if I don't do it, you know, if I go I'm gonna lose time if I shit. Okay, I guess we'll find out. They say to go back because of this dream at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do now is I want to travel. Okay. So travel costs me 1 energy. So this goes down again. And it says then move to any revealed location connected to your current one. So I'm going to go down here, because it seems to me that the locations get more and more dangerous. You know, if you start here and it seems like this location is more or these two locations are more dangerous than the others. So I want to start here. And check if this reveals any new locations. Check for any rules marked with a lightning symbol. Okay, so now we gotta reveal new locations, and these are the two locations that are actually only this location. There is no location here because it doesn't, you don't see any arrow here with a number, so there is no location here, but there's a location here. We're gonna find location 108 now. So this is called Grubwood. And when you go there, it says, explore there. Explore when you enter this location. This exploration is free. Some think it was given this name because it fed settlers in dire times. Others believe it's due to the maggots crawling over its slumping trees. Okay, so we're going to place this here. And so, do I want to buy an item there? That's an interesting question. I mean, I don't have anything, but honestly, I think I might actually first explore. Maybe I'm gonna find something there. So I want to explore this area, and let me just see, I already forgot, it takes me one action to do so. So we're simply going to go there, and yeah, now we're going to flip it and see what it says. Forlorn Swords. Oh, it looks really beautiful. You rest a while in the shade of titanic swords, their rusty smell causing your nose to tingle. 100 yards away, an elder smith toils, chipping at the jagged edge of a giant weapon. The hammer he uses to break apart this ancient steel seems very strange, as does the sound it makes. Okay, if there's a quest token on this location, go to verse 14. That's not the case. So then we go to, we simply go to the exploration journal. It's card number 105. Oh gosh. Okay. There we are. The Forlorn Swords. So we got a choice. Try a free climb, trusting your strength and agility. That requires one or more of this, and I think that means, yeah, that's courage. And as you can see, we have that. So we could do that. Roll a die at +1 for each point of your wounds. I'm in a pretty good shape here, so I think I could easily do that. Study the sword's surface. Find the best approach and climb slowly. Okay, that would cost energy, but we could add another 2. Or prepare ropes and climbing hooks. Proceed with extreme caution. Okay, I don't think I'm going to do that. Now check your result in first 10. I mean, yeah, we don't know that. 2 energy. Do I want to pay that? So the thing is, they tell us that it's a good idea to go back into the village at the end of the first day to read to rest there and to get this dream. So if I hang out there and you know, start building I don't know, climbing equipment, that will take me 2 actions, and I simply don't have that time. But I could study the sword's surface and then climb. Question is, does that make sense? I'm going to give away that action. It gives me a better result. Maybe that's important. Maybe not. Who knows? So I can add 2. On the other hand, damn it. If I knew what's going to happen at first 10, man. But I'm going to do that. So I'm going to add 2 and then add 1 for each point of my health. So I'm at a maximum here. I'm at 7. So I'm going to roll a die. Oh, fuck, man. That's bad. So it might have been a good idea. Okay, so we are sitting at 10 now, right? We add 2. So it's 3, and then plus 7 is 10. And now we go to verse 10. And we'll see what happens. It's here. And we're lucky we're here at the second. It was a good decision, I guess. You slip several times, cutting yourself on sharp edges before you reach the top. Each party member loses 1 health. Well, that's not great, but okay. So this goes down. Oh, and actually we should have spent the energy. I forgot that. So we got to spend 1 energy here. If there's no quest token on the location card, go to verse 14. Okay, let's do that. Sweaty and tired, you are now in a narrow niche that was once the sword's fuller. There you rest a while, feasting your eyes on the wide open vistas of the island. From here you can see there are 2 more menhirs near Quanacht. One sits hidden between the mist-covered mounds of the Fore-dwellers. Another is in the hills near a cursed town known as Whitening. Put a quest token representing your progress on the location card. If you have no energy left, you're too exhausted to go up or down, and the sun is already setting. Go to verse 15. Otherwise, choose 1. Climb farther up. Or descend. Okay. So first we're gonna find a quest token, and actually they're still in the box. I realize that now. I'm not even sure what actually. I think the golden tokens are the quest tokens, although I'm not totally sure about that. Our quest token now, and let's see. We got to make a choice. Whoop whoop whoop. Well, you know, I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to climb farther up. You look up and notice the sword's guard shining far above your head. Go to verse 1. Oh, you could now continue doing this crap or what? Ah, I see. Okay, I mean, that's a tricky decision. The thing is, if I need a 9 at least. To go beyond what we just did, right? Yeah, I ended up at a 10. So I'm gonna need a 9. I'm gonna need a 10. Okay? So that means I have now 6 life points left. And so if I don't want to spend all my Gosh. I would need to roll a 4. To get a 14, which would be the next paragraph, and I'm not reading that. I think I cannot even get there. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to return. This is just too much. I'm already pretty tired, and I think I'm going to descend at that point. I mean, I could add 5 plus 6, 11. So if I really go the really careful way now, I would need a 3 to be successful. But then I would be exhausted, which is something I don't want to be. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stop here. No, these are really hard decisions to make. You always have a feeling, oh my God, if I don't bring this to an end, I'm going to lose the game immediately or something. I'm going to miss something terribly important. But of course, this is crap. I mean, but we got to remember where these other, we should write that down, where these other menhirs are. Let's see, we have, it was, what was it? 105, yeah. Okay, it said there are menhirs between the mist-covered mounds of the Four-Dwellers, and another one is in the hills near the cursed town known as Whitening. So we're back on the ground here. What was that? Why is there an exploration token there? Shit. Was that of any importance, or was it just an indication that we've already seen that? Oh, this, yeah, let's see. We have here, put a quest token. No, I think this is it. It's just sitting there. Okay, cool. So, now, I think I'm going to go back. On the other hand, you might think if there's a quest token there, maybe you got to go to the very end, and but I don't want to risk anything. I'm going to go back. It takes my last point of energy, and now I'm back in Quanach. And I'm going to pass. So what happens now? End of the day, rest, consume 1 food. And we're going to do that. We have 3 food, which is nice. To restore 1 health. Great. Okay. And lose 1 terror. Okay, restore energy to full. Cool. So we're going to do that. There we are. Advance your character by spending experience, which we don't have. Modify your dex. If you're on a location with the dream icon, read the dream. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So we are in here, so we're gonna find this location 101, and we're gonna read the dream in Quanach. And let's see if this is important. Quanach. And it's here at the end. We see we have a dream and we have a nightmare. We have to read the nightmare if we're going insane. But luckily we're not there. In your restless dream, a pale lady rises from the water, her eyes milky and her skin spoiled with rot. She whispers something into your ear. Her breath smells of sea salt, kelp, and rotten fish. You barely remember the words. There was something about 3 enigmas, one hidden under the Isle of the Dead, one clutched in the grasp of burned hands and arms, and one buried in a mist-covered mound. But what could it mean? Hint: the dream refers to 3 out of 8 locations surrounding Connacht. It's possible some of them are not yet revealed. Okay, nice. So I'm going to write that down well, fine. So we're pretty much, yes, we are at the end of this day, and so that means we are also at the end of the video, and I'm going to load this up. What I can only say until now, I really enjoyed it. It's a cool game. It's my first campaign game, you know, with a written book and with a storybook and all that. I've never did that before, and well, a little bit in Dungeon Degenerates, which definitely was not my cup of tea. But this is something I really enjoy until now, and we're gonna see, you know, if the difficulty will take away the fun at some point. But there are always ways to make this easy and to enjoy the story. So yeah, hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.